Your references are a reflection of your design. If your design feels random, unrealistic, or meaningless, there is a good chances the problem started long before you open Blender. It started with your reference board. In this first part of the concept design series, I am going to teach you how to collect references properly. Now, this might sound like a simple topic. Most students think they already know how to gather references. But collecting references and understanding references are two completely different things. For years, I thought I was using references correctly. In reality, I was just collecting random images and hoped good designs would come out of them. That approach cost me a lot of time. In this video, I'll show you the process that helped me to understand what references to collect, why they matter, and how they influence every design decision you make. So, pay close attention because the quality of your references often determines the quality of your design. So, I've actually wrote down a few important points on my list. So, let's start with the first one, which is don't be indecisive. So, before you going to the Pinterest and looking for the references, you should know exactly what you're looking for, or else you'll just end up doing something that you don't want. And let's say what happens if you don't decide what you want to design. So you just go to the Pinterest and then you look for the references and you see this make looks interesting. So you click on this one and then you download it, and at the bottom you can scroll through and you find this turret looks good. And then you plan to make a turret, and then you just scroll down and then you find another mech, and then you change the decision to make a mech, and then you scroll down, you find something interesting, and the process will be not clear. Your references is not going to be like look similar, and it's random. And that is why making the first step of making a decision very important. So how do you actually decide what you're going to design? Very simple. I would just simply answer to the three questions. So the first one, which is the core subject. What is the main category of your references? It can be a vehicle, it can be a gun, it can be a grenade or explosive. You know the main category of the subject you want to design. And in that, you just get into a one step further by specifying the type. Like let's say if it's a vehicle. In vehicle, there are many types. There can be a sports car, there can be a military truck, there can be a tanker, there can be a motorcycle, like many. In that, you need to choose one thing. So let's say if I want to design a vehicle, and in that I would choose military tank, specific. And in that I would choose the theme, which is, do I want to design a military truck as a realistic one, or should I want to add a sci-fi stuff? So I would choose like a semi-sci-fi military truck, or I would choose a retro drive military truck. Like you need to decide a theme for it. What purpose it's going to solve? Is it going for the destroy purpose, or it is going to carry some troops in it? And then like you just need to find out what is the problem it's solving in the real world. And you might think, oh, is that important? Yes, it is. It helps to give some meaning to your design. It can be like applied to anything. Even if you're designing a sci-fi gun, you should add some story to it. So don't just go to the Pinterest and then look for sci-fi gun or sci-fi truck. Be specific and then look for the references. This is the first step that you could take that could dramatically change on how you collect the references. So once you understand what you're going to design, the next step, which is to collect the references. So where do you actually find the good quality of references? So the first one, which is Pinterest. Pinterest is the king of references. You can find all the types, you can find all the components, everything in the Pinterest. So if you just tell me to choose only one website that I could find references, I would choose Pinterest, because with this one, I could pretty much cover like 80% of my references. This is the best thing, and every artist you admire will at least come to the Pinterest and collect the references. And the second platform which I choose for references is Real World. I would collect the references of real world mechanics, like I would grab my phone, take some picture in it, and then put on my Pinterest board. It can be like really simple. I would just connect the small part of my bike. I would see how the wheels are connected. I would just take a picture of the wiring in my house. Like I could just take references. So if you're able to access to a mechanical places, that's your advantage. You can go there, grab some pictures, and then put it for your reference board. And if you're working in the construction, you have advantage. You can take the pictures of the vehicles and see how they connect, and then put them in the reference board. And even if you can't really go and take the pictures, if you can't, you can just take a pictures of your home appliances. Like you can take the pictures of your car suspension. But be safe while you're doing this. Don't go underneath your car and get stuck, or don't take any picture too close. Just be in distance, take the picture safely, and then put it for your references. And the third place which I would like to collect my references, which is Google. People might be think it's crazy, like, oh, Google is outdated, it's bad. But for me, if I'm not satisfied with the real world and Pinterest, I would come up to Google and then type my niche, and it will give some references. So this something like the references you can find in Pinterest. So sometimes that Google works. So I would come there and find something interesting and then download. So these are the three things that I would collect my references. So don't be confused about many sites, because I've tried everything. I tried the blog post, I've tried the military stuff. Nothing actually clicks for me. These are the three things that works. So for you, it's the three. Maybe in future, if I find any good sites, I would definitely would share in my future videos. But for now, just understand these are the three things that could needed for your references. Very clear? Alright. Now let's move on to the third step, which is the mindset you need for collecting references. So when you're going to the Pinterest or any websites and collecting the references, you should understand that it's a part of your design. It's the part of your work. Because for me, for a long period of time, I thought collecting references is a waste of time. Yeah, I will so I would just go to the Pinterest and scrolling thousands of images and downloading them. And it feels like for me, I feel like I'm procrastinating the work. But after I realized that the quality of the reference is matter. So if it feels like I'm just wasting my time, I don't get anything properly, I'm just scrolling for an hour, understand that it's a part of the game. It's the main process, it's the main work that you do to make your design. So before you touch the blender, before you do the sketch, where the things you get from the reference. So if you're like me and you think that collecting references is a waste of time, just understand that it's a part of the game. And that's the mindset you need to have. And next, I'm going to show you how to collect references. But before that, I will show you how to not collect the references. So first is, you should not collect AI references. The reason for this is because AI references are generic. Like, you can take it as inspiration, but you should never put them as your main reference. The reason for this is simple. AI can give you better mechanics, like how the real things that gives you mechanic. Like you can see this image, it's good. AI can't really replicate this one. It's tough. It would just make the things soft and nice. No matter how hard it tries, it will feel fake. That is why I would say that you don't have to use AI. You can use them as inspiration, but never use them in your design as your main references. And the second thing which I would say is not taking references from other people's artwork. And I see like a lot of people who just go to ArtStation and finding their favorite artist and then collecting the references. That's bad. The reason for this is because there is no chances that the design would be 100% logical. Maybe they can make designs. Maybe they can make some mistakes in their design. They might be good at hiding it. So when you copy that and when you put it into your work, it looks more worse because you don't have any idea on what their mentality and what their decision in their design. So when you try to copy it, it will reflect on yours. So let's say for an example, in my design, you might be think that, oh, it looks cool. Maybe I can just grab this as a references. But I would not recommend it because I could say there are many mistakes I could find in the design. Maybe there could be a better connection. Maybe there could be some parts that looks fake. I only know that because I designed it. I know there are the mistakes I made. But when you copy this, you have no clear idea on where I did the mistake. So you will end up doing something really wrong. So that is why I would not recommend you to collect references from other people's work. It's not because their designs are weak, it's just because you're just finding the real one. So, yeah, don't use other people's work, use the real world references, and don't use AI. These are the two things that you need to keep in your mind when you're hunting for references. So, now let's see how to collect references. So, let's say I'm designing a turret. So, what do? I just simply go here to the Pinterest and type turret. So before I just grab this, I know exactly what type of turret I'm going to design. I apply the first rule, which is deciding what I want to design. So it's a turret and it's going to be attached to a vehicle. That is the part. It's not going to hang on the wall. It's going to attach to a vehicle and it's going to be like a semi-sci-fi. Not too sci-fi and not realistic, like near future design. So these are my theme. So the first one, the core subject, which is a turret, and in the turret, it could be like a turret that can be attached to a vehicle. That is the second part. And the third one, which is the style. It's going to be a near future design. So I'm very clear with that. So now with that mentality, I come to the Pinterest and then hunt for my references. So I will not choose this one. Maybe I can choose this one. I like the shape. It's like more flat. Maybe I can use this one as my main machine gun, but it's not going to be look same way. Like it's not going to placed underneath of anything because it's going to be a vehicle one. So I can only grab this part. Like I can extract this one and then use this as my references. So the first 5 references are going to collect based on the full model. Like I can collect this one, and like that I can just collect 5 references. I really like this design. It looks cool. So I just download them and put it on my Pinterest board. So the first 5 things are the main one, the main subject, anything that you want to design. If it's a truck, you just grab the full truck and that's it. But initially don't pick anything too big because that would end up putting a lot of struggles. It's like you want to bench really heavy at the first time when you went to the gym. So you just start with a small bar and then started adding the small weights and small plates and then progressively overload. That way you understand how things work and you actually train your brain to think, and it's very easy for you to work with. So grab something small and collect the 5 references. And after you collect the 5 references of your main subject, then you can start collecting the small parts. So let's say in my turret, I would like to add a smoke launcher. I would go and search for smoke launchers. Here you can see we got our smoke launchers. I would simply select them and then download them. It's a small part. It's a small component of my turret system. And then I would go and then type another component like the mechanism. I could just type a mechanics, mechanic engineer, whatever. I would just focus on the connection, how each parts are integrated and how they're connected, so that I can implement that logic in my design. So in this image, you can see we have a nice mechanics. You can see at the bottom we have a cylindrical shape, and at the bottom we have some nice interesting shape, how they interlock. I can use this as my main body. So it's not a turret and it's not related to turret, but I like the mechanism. I like how parts connected. So I can use that, and I really like this one. So maybe I can use this in some areas of my design. So just like that, the first 5 things would be the main reference. If it's a turret, collect 5 different types of turrets. Like this one, like the whole subject. And then collect a few parts of the mechanics, like the features, the smoke launchers, the mechanics, and um, the ammo box, the ammo belt. Like what are all the parts that are connected to your references? Collect them individually, an individual part. And you can also collect some random stuff like shield, armor plate, these cables, because that could helps you to add them in your design. So don't pick a lot of references initially because there is nothing to be fixed. when you progress, you can come here and then get your references, but initially just maintain like 15 to 20 references. That's more than enough to get started. So yeah, that's all you need to look for. You don't confuse about anything. Just pick the topic, be very clear about what it's going to do, and then gather references and then download them all, put them into something like a PureRef, because this software which allows you to collect the references and organize them into one board. So when you're designing them, if you have a dual screen monitor, you can put one monitor to the PureRef and one to your Blender and then start working on it. But if you don't have a dual monitor setup, you can simply make it small, then right click and put them into a always, where is it? Yeah, go to the mode and then choose this always on top. So that way, even when you click on anywhere, this won't be disappear. So I would like to set up this way, and then I just put my references and then I start working on it. So yeah, in this first chapter, you understand how to collect references. Next chapter, I'll show you how to do a 2D sketch and then start making your first block out. So that would be really fun, and that's help you to be like more clear about how to actually do a concept art. So for a small warm-up today, I would encourage you to pick a single topic, like pick a grenade, pick anything like small that you can handle, and then go deep and be more specific. And once you've done that, you go to the Pinterest, Google, and collect the references and put them into the PureRef board and organize them. You don't really want to block out, you don't want to sketch anything, you just want to put them into one place like this one. And once you've done that, we are ready for the next step. I'll see you in the next part.